Stephen Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Bone. It's a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship. Last Friday, I was talking to the principal of Portsmouth College, a college I had the privilege to attend. What he told me was seriously concerning, and I'm proud to be here today to speak up for that college. If we were to walk into a college in Canada, we would see sixth formers receiving 26 hours of tuition in a week. In Singapore, 27 hours. In Shanghai, 30 hours. What do we need to give our sixth formers? 15 hours of tuition per week. We owe our young people so much more. How can we expect our future generations to compete on a world stage when we are giving them far less than their counterparts across the globe? If we want this great nation's future to be bright as our past, we need to invest in our young people. Colleges educate nearly 65% of those that go on to higher education, located both geographically and symbolically at the heart of our communities. They are a driving force for social mobility. All of this is being put at risk. Over the last 10 years, colleges, as we've already heard, have had to deal with average funding cuts of 30% and soaring costs. The effects have been severe. Those who attend state-run colleges have 1/3 of what those at independent schools have spent on them. In the last 10 years, qualifications in health and social care have fallen by 70%, the same for engineering and plumbing. But perhaps most significantly, IT qualifications have fallen by almost 90%. And Mr. Bone, the consequences are dire for everyone in our country, not just our young people. Think of a world where we have hospitals but no nurses, where we can no longer construct buildings like the Shard, Spinnaker Tower in Portsmouth or the Clifton Suspension Bridge in Bristol, where we can no longer protect this country from the ever-growing cybersecurity threats we face. Sound bleak? These are all very real scenarios if we do not increase spending on sixth form colleges. Amanda Spellman, Her Majesty's Chief Inspector, recently expressed her concern over the matter to the Public Accounts Committee, a committee I sit on. She said, "My strong view is that the government should use the forthcoming spending review to increase the base rate for 16 to 18-year funding." Again, it seemed the government had heard enough from experts, and they chose not to take her advice. Instead, the national base for 16 to 17-year-olds was fixed at £4,000 per student. Obviously, this rate does nothing to consider the inflationary pressures or cost increases that occur year on year for our colleges. So the solution to this problem is simple. We need to raise the funding rate from £4,000 per sixth form student. Failure to do so will mean greater reductions in young people realising their dreams. It will dramatically affect the economy and undermine our nation's capability in a global market. This small increase in funding will have an immeasurable effect on the nation's future and is a minor price to pay for financial security of our nation. I am not alone in my request for this government to increase its funding. It's what the staff of colleges like Portsmouth College are telling me. But also Her Majesty's Chief Inspector has said it is essential. College principals from around the country have come forward in support of a fantastic petition, and Mr. Bone have signed a petition calling for it. We need to safeguard the future of our country and our young people. We need to raise the rate for fantastic colleges like Portsmouth College.
Gareth Snell.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bone. It's a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship.